Mobile, guys, mobile, mobile, mobile. You're still focusing on the internet or the desktop internet, right? So, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're trying to figure that out. I think now I don't have to say that. You know, Kunal goes in the market and says more than 50% of their transactions are on mobile. Their merchants are coming on through mobile. You know, now I hear Flipkart the same, and every internet property today says most of their transactions are coming on the mobile, right? So we don't have to go through that part at all. So, okay, so we said, okay, let's talk about a slightly different topic, which is how is this mobile and the smartphones influencing or affecting the adjacent markets. So 5 years ago or 7 years ago, our CEO, Paul Jacobs, had a slide which said basically mobile is the fastest and the deepest adapted platform in the history of mankind. You know, whether you talk about roads or railroad as a platform, television as a platform, computer as a platform, internet as a platform, mobile as a platform, I don't think any other platform spread this fast, this quick. So there is definitely going to be some effect of this deeper and very fastly adopted platform, right? So, and it affects different industries through the same platform itself, but it also, in my mind, or in our minds, that it goes and completely disrupts other industries itself, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that today. So this is a slide that we've been showing 3 years ago, as for at least 3 years now. So mobile is the new architectural approach. So that's basically talking about, okay, when you say that, okay, it's disrupting the other ecosystem. So what this means is a new architectural approach, right? So we're shipping about billions of smartphones every year, right? And it's, that number is only increasing, right? So how many other homogeneous devices are being shipped at that volume? None, right? So what that means is that, you know, the supply side economics, the economies of scale, some of the way the cost and the efficiency and the way the features come into the thing, I don't think any other market can even match it, right? So this is the fundamental thesis, because mobile is the new architectural approach. So anytime there is computing, anytime there is connectivity, anytime there is any processing, any graphics or any media processing, anytime you have to talk about power management, you got to start with the mobile, because mobile has solved all those problems, right? So we'll talk about all those things, and then so why, if you're doing anything that has these elements, right, computing or connectivity or advanced graphics processing or power management, you got to take a mobile platform, right? So we'll talk about that. So again, the definition of smartphone or a phone is not relevant anymore, right? You know, what's a phone? What we have is it a phone? No, right? It's really a computer plus connected modem, everything together, right? So that's the fundamental thesis. So what we have right now, we can't call it just a phone anymore, right? Even smartphone is only going one step ahead. It's what we have is much more. We'll just quickly go through what the India is. We are a mobile-driven economy, right? So only 15 million fixed broadband connection, but we have 278 million internet users, right? So most of them are coming on the mobile, right? And already we are seeing, just using the mobile, disruption in various sectors, right? From payments to education to healthcare and all those things, right? So this is using the mobile itself, right? We are not even talking about going to a new sector with a different platform, just in the mobile itself, right? Okay, so now we'll go why we believe that mobile or a smartphone is going to disrupt other sectors, right? So what we have on our hand has a lot of capability, right? So it's almost like a supercomputer of like 15, 20 years ago, right? It has so much energy that, you know, it can actually lift a person up several floors, right? So the amount of power or amount of capability that the phone has in terms of energy, right? And then it can replace many different devices even as we speak right now, right? And then the amount of content it actually decodes is 100,000 billion. So it's like just short of 1 trillion bytes of information, right? So what we have is an incredible equipment, right? So when you look at any other industry, nothing can match this. It has evolved so fast because of the volume. It has evolved so fast because of the wider adoption, that if you take any problem in any other industry which is using electronics, which is using devices, we can't match this. So they may not be, the mobile ecosystem may not be an exact fit, but if you're building something now for that particular industry, if you don't start here, you're going to get disrupted, right? Because of the capability that it has. Because if you want to go build that capability yourself or start from scratch or just go incrementally, you're not going to be able to meet with somebody who's building an ecosystem based on this. The other thing I think a bunch of people talked about is the sensors, right? So one of the things is the sensors, right? It's not just the capability alone, but it's also how it interacts with the rest of the world, which is all through sensors, whether it is fingerprint, whether it is camera, whether it is touch and everything, right? And mobile already has lots of sensors. I think the number of sensors that we have on the phone is getting very close to the number of sensors that you'll have on an automobile. Automobile is the one that typically has a lot of sensors to monitor things, and we're getting very close there, right? So given that a lot of processing the mobile has, and also the ability to interact with the physical world, this becomes like a powerful platform, right? So what are we saying? So we are about 7 billion people are there, but I think we're getting very close to 25 billion devices that are going to be connected in the next few years, right? And it's already starting to happen. And a lot of it is being driven from the mobile, right? So if you are a startup or if you are trying to solve a problem in a different vertical, you probably have to start here, and then you have to probably start with the mobile. And I think the paradigm is also shifting a little bit. Instead of saying that this mobile can do a bunch of things, which it can, now basically everything is getting connected. So you look at every device, every person as a separate connected computing driven unit, and that is driving most of the newer devices that are coming in, right? So what mobile did was get a lot of things done within the phone itself, but now there are things that needs to be decentralized. There are things that need to be separated, right? And those things are all becoming actually connected and compute intensive. So we'll talk about few areas, and then I want to stop with one specific Qualcomm initiative. How many of you guys here have a Fitbit or a wearable health band type of device? Raise your hands. Shraddha, you don't have one? Seriously? Okay. Okay. So that's not going away, right? So and that needs to be extremely conscious about power, extremely conscious about what kind of data it can connect to and whatnot. So we'll talk about that also. And then we'll talk about drones and robots at the end, about automotive and connected homes also. So one thing that we definitely see is that more and more things in the home are getting connected, right? So if you really think about it, how many devices in your home are connected, it's actually increasing in the number, right? And what we are seeing is that all of them are using mobile technology. If you look at the latest set-top boxes, over-the-top devices, they all use mobile platforms, right? And then if you look at even the gaming consoles that are coming up, they're all using mobile platforms, right? So we are seeing definitely in the home automation or home devices, it's all through mobile platforms. The cars. I think cars used to have a lot of discrete stuff. They have a lot of sensors and like OnStar type of service which could do tracking, and then if some emergency response, a lot of connectivity within your media system and whatnot. They're all now getting basically replaced or moved into a mobile-based platform because mobile has all of them. Mobile platform can talk to a bunch of sensors. It has inherent connectivity in it. It can talk to your players, or it can talk to your media devices. It can connect to your phone and things like that. So what we are seeing is that the entire electronics within the car, except for things that are controlling the actual driving of the car itself, everything else is basically being run out of a mobile platform. The wearables, right? So if you really look at the history of, Fitbit is one of our portfolio companies. Fitbit has become a category now, right? Everybody now talks about this band as actually a Fitbit, right? What fundamentally they have done compared to what was in the market is connectivity actually. So if you look at, if 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, if you want to get what's called as a pedometer, you actually had a pedometer, and they're actually cheaper, much cheaper than what Fitbit is selling for. $20, $30, a few thousand rupees, you can get one, and it'll count steps, and it counted steps reasonably well. And Fitbit has done a bunch of things, but that part, I don't think it has been fundamentally some disruption, right? But what Fitbit fundamentally did was it made that connected, right? So which means that you're not only just counting steps, but you have much more connected to your ecosystem of either people, ecosystem of apps, and things like that, right? So, and I think we want to see that for every different type of device, right? Smart watches, and they're all first generation. I think even the Fitbit in my mind is in this whole category of this wearables is just a first generation. And all of them, what they need is they need to acquire a lot of information. They need to process a lot of information. They need to provide you with a bunch of information, but also need to be able to connect so that they can do much more processing later as well. And all those fit to the mobile ecosystem. So if you look at where some of the wearables are going, they're all taking basically miniature mobile platforms and then building on top of it. Right? I think controlling your toaster or controlling your coffee maker is not the use case, right? So, but all of them are going the route of mobile platform, because you take a SIM card, you put it in your phone, you go to any country, I think it seamlessly integrates with that particular network. I think if you look at a device that can talk in that protocol very easily to a newer ecosystem, it's only the mobile. Even Wi-Fi doesn't do that well, any other protocol doesn't do that well. Mobile, they have solved that problem, right? So when it comes to discovery, when it comes to eliminating rogue devices and things like that, mobile already has built-in capabilities, and that's why we are seeing that trend as well. Okay, this one I'm going to talk a little bit on. We're seeing a lot of activity around drones, right? So how many of you know what drone is? Okay, everybody knows. Okay, I don't have to define that. Okay, so there are a lot of definitions going around. Which one is called flying robots. It's really a robot, but it's a flying robot. We call it as a flying smartphone because it's really a smartphone that's flying. And then and the use cases are tremendous. You know, from in terms of hazardous areas, in terms of quickly understanding traffic, in terms of quickly understanding the status of a vast field, in terms of delivering stuff, in terms of taking pictures around a bunch of places. I think the use case of drones are exploding. But drones by itself is not a new concept, right? Drones by itself, you know, UAVs have been there. It's like $30–50 million. 3 UAVs are there, which can deliver missiles. And then, you know, you have even the smaller toy versions which can only go around here type of a thing, right? But what the mobile platform has done is that it has taken the harder problem of robotics, which means, you need to control the device, which means it needs to understand what the air interference is or air pressure is, and then what kind of pressure to apply and things like that. All of those things, given what the computing capability is, a smartphone can deliver it, right? So what we are seeing is that because of the smartphone technology, because of the mobile technology, the cost of drones is much lesser. It's coming down really, really fast. If the cost comes down really fast, then the use cases also expand. Because if a drone costs $10,000 or 20–30 lakhs, the use cases are going to be limited. But if the cost of a drone comes to 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees or like even 50,000 rupees, suddenly it solves so many different types of problems, right? So we're definitely seeing this as an area that's going to solve a bunch of things. Even in a country like India, where manpower is unlimited, or there is enough manpower, but I think there is efficiency of scale, and there are certain problems that I think a drone can solve much faster as well and cheaper as well. So one of the things that we are doing in this particular regard is that we have an accelerator called a Qualcomm Robotics Accelerator that we launched with Techstars. Techstars is one of the leading accelerators based in the US. So it's focused on identifying good robotics-based companies and then actually providing them space and providing them technology. Is there anybody here that does anything remotely related to robotics or drones? Okay, there are a couple of them. Okay, okay, few of them, not bad. So this is a globally available program. So we're gonna select 10 companies. The deadline is February. So we're going to select 10 companies, and each company will get $120,000 of funding, and then they'll have space in the Qualcomm research lab, and with exposure to our technology, but also how to go to market and things like that, and with Techstars also as a partner, so that it also brings the Techstars ecosystem as well. So if you are a robotics company and if you are interested in this platform, you guys should look at. Anyway, I have only that much, but what I want to fundamentally leave with the first slide, this is the new architectural approach. So if you are building any device, doesn't matter. If it needs computing, connectivity, graphics processing, power management, start here. Don't go reinvent the wheel, right? I think so because of the economies of scale, because of how fast the application ecosystem have emerged, if you're trying to solve a problem in any area which has any one of these parameters, start with the mobile platform. Thank you.